Hi, I'm Karen. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm doing a video response to NicoleACottageWitch for her tag video Tarot Curiosities. I first saw this on a VR by Jack Greenwood Tarot, and then I saw Rose Honey Ritual do her VR, so I went to check out Nicole's original tag video. I had not seen Nicole before, but I subscribed to her channel right away after I watched this video and another couple of videos of hers. This is a fun tag with interesting prompts, and I enjoyed hearing the responses in the original tag video and the VRs, so I wanted to do my own VR. Let's get started. The first prompt is favorite purple deck. I have a couple of decks I want to show for this. The first one is Affirmator's Tarot. This is the first tarot deck I ever bought. I was a little intimidated by tarot, and I started out with a couple of oracle decks. Then I finally decided to dip my toes into tarot, and this was a great, gentle starting point. This is a fun deck. It's funny, it's lighthearted. It does follow the RWS system, and it does have its tough cards, but it does it in a very supportive way. And as you can see, the box is purple, and the backs are purple, and quite a few of the cards are purple. If you haven't seen this deck, there's several in this series, I think. There's also obviously some purple cards in the deck. This one is the only one I have, and it's the only one I need. It's fun, it's kind of silly, but I needed that to get started with tarot. And then once I had some other decks, this became my work deck. Speaking of work, I can't tell you how many times in the last year that I worked at my previous job that I pulled this card before work. This deck was trying to tell me something. I knew that it was right. I also felt like I had no choices. And so then, of course, as usually happens, the universe stepped in, and I literally hit myself up the side of the head so that I could no longer do that job. Anyway, this card warned me. I can't say I wasn't warned. I was. You can see the imagery. I love this Empress. I think this Empress is so beautiful. And yes, this is cartoony and it's quirky and funny, but let me just read one of the entries in the guidebook, in this little guidebook. It's tiny, but it's a little gem. Three of Wands. Let's see what they have to say about the Three of Wands. You can see all the underlining. I've used this deck so much. Here we go, Three of Wands. It has a little section here. You are the architect of your life, and you can construct planet you in a lot of ways you might not have thought possible. Embrace change, keep your heart open, and get inspired by the sorts of visionary plans muggles might consider pipe dreams, pies in the sky, or simply insane because everyone is supposed to just work boring jobs in the monotonous, lifelong pursuit of paying down debt. There you go. That was me when I was using this deck. Then it has a little affirmation. I claim my right to live an ideal, dreamy, straight from the Pinterest board life. I do it with ease and class to boot. And they're all like this. They all are kind of funny and quirky and really supportive. That's why it's called an Affirmator's deck. So that's my first purple deck and my oldest tarot deck. My next purple deck is a more recent deck, Crystal Keys Tarot. If you've seen any of my previous videos, you know I love this deck. I've been looking for a crystal tarot deck for the 2 years that I've been doing tarot, and finally found this one. It's my perfect crystal deck. There's some purple on the outside of the box. And then inside the box, there's the purple liner and the edges, these beautiful purple edges. This deck has some purple cards in it because it does have, that's blue, Karen. It does have the color of the crystal in the card, and there are purple crystals in here, I promise. So there's purple in the deck, and then there's purple on the edges of the deck, and there's purple here. So I consider this a purple deck, or at least enough, as close as I have to a purple deck, along with affirmators. Okay, purple decks. The next prompt is a deck for rainy days. On rainy days, I like to stay inside, curl up with a blanket and a good book, and a cozy deck that takes me away, lets me travel in my mind to someplace out of the rain. And that's Shadowscapes for me. This is kind of my fantasy escape deck. And it also could be a purple deck, now that I look at it. This deck just has a dreamy quality and a softness. I love Stephanie Law's artwork. Everyone, I'm sure, has seen this deck, but I'm still going to show some of the cards because I want to. It's just on a rainy day, the kind of deck I can just get lost in. And that's what I want on a rainy day. Something that feels far away. I know some people love rainy days. I have a lot of people I know who love rainy days. I'm not one of them. I just like to stay inside where it's nice and dry and work on things inside. The one thing I like about rainy days is it gives me a reason to stay inside. But I love this deck, and it's, to me, absolutely a rainy day deck. The next prompt is a deck that loves the mud. I knew right away which deck this was going to be for me. Blood Moon Tarot. This deck is murky and gritty and dark. It's mud. Mud in a deck. And I love it. It drags me into the mud, deep into the mire, down where the wild creatures are. I absolutely love this deck. It's new in my collection. I did my interview with it yesterday, and it was one of the most powerful interviews. One of the most powerful deck interviews I've ever had. So even though this is a new deck to me, I feel like I already understand how we're going to work together, what its energy is, and that it loves the mud. I did a walkthrough of this not long ago on my channel, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time going through the cards, but if you haven't seen a walkthrough of this deck, you can see how I could sink into the mud with this deck. It took me probably close to an hour to do my interview of this deck. Usually it takes me about 20 minutes to interview a deck. I only ask a few questions. And I do ponder all of my interviews, but I think this is the longest interview I ever had with the deck. It was definitely deep, powerful, but murky, down on kind of a primal, no, not kind of, down on a primal level. Very accurate. The cards I pulled were eerie in how much they answered the question and how much they told me about the work that I'll be doing. I have a feeling that this deck and I are going to be spending a lot of time in the mud. And I'm here for it. So that's my Loves the Mud deck, Blood Moon Tarot. The next prompt is Fiercest deck. This deck is going to partially explain why I subscribed immediately to Nicole's channel. We had a lot in common in various ways as I looked around her channel and watched her videos, but this is when I first knew. She also chose this deck as her Fiercest deck. And I have a deep, deep love for this deck. So I'm always happy when I hear anyone talk about it. I have something to show you here too. I recently bonded even deeper with this deck because this is the second edging I've ever done of a deck. It's the first time I've edged a tarot deck. I started on an oracle deck. I chose this brown because it goes with these colors. And I felt like it went really well with the deck and this brown border on the bottoms of the cards. And I love it. I love that a little bit of the peach backing peeks out because whenever you hold a deck, there's usually a little gap somewhere. And I think that adds to the look of the edging. And I'm thrilled with it. This deck is absolutely fierce. I had a reading early on in my practice. This was, I don't know, maybe my 4th or 5th tarot deck. Look at her, how fierce. And that reading, I've had some profound experiences in my life, some awakenings, some moments that really were transformative for me. And I did an automatic writing using this deck. And this is going to sound really dramatic, but it changed something in me. The fierceness, the rawness, the depth of this deck. I have some Scottish ancestry, and this deck is about Scottish witches. So I do have a tie to this land through my ancestors. But I feel like anyone, look at her, the land. I have so many synchronicities with this deck on things like that. I'll say the land. The next card or two I show is the land. It's amazing. Every face is so powerful, so fierce. This is absolutely my fiercest deck. Okay, we're going to lighten things up a little bit here with the next prompt. A deck to brighten your day. I chose the Unicorn's Journey Tarot. This deck is about a unicorn named Mystic who doesn't know he's a unicorn and his self-worth path to discovering who he is. And it's written like a storybook. There's Mystic. And it's sweet and it's gentle and it's affirming. And it does have difficult cards. And Mystic does have some missteps on his path, or some side steps, I should say. They don't turn out to be missteps, but just maybe delays in finding himself. But the story is so beautifully laid out and told. And it is definitely a storybook deck. There's even a children's book that Lisa wrote to accompany the deck, a storybook. But even if I pull a difficult card, the self-worth message and the way that the message is presented, Lisa has a way of telling it like it is, presenting the real true reading of the card while still providing you advice, support, encouragement. She does that in her live readings for her channel members. And so, of course, her voice is in this deck, and she does that in this deck. So if I need a gentle deck, a supportive deck, a deck to brighten my day, this is the one I turn to. Unicorn Journeys Tarot by Lisa Pepez. I don't think I've been naming the creators. I usually try to do that. We had Blood Moon Tarot by Sam Gway. The creator of Affirmators is Susie Barrett. And the creator of Shadowscapes is Stephanie Law. And then Crystal Keys Tarot was created by Dina Rosenberg. That's all the ones I've talked about so far, so not too far behind. The next prompt is a deck for anxious thoughts or overwhelm. This is my Precious. She's in this box because she came in a tuck box, and I can't stand tuck boxes. My husband bought me several beautiful wooden carved boxes because he knows I love them so much. And this one is the right size and the right feel for my Magical Natures Tarot. I also keep it in this little bag within the box because I don't want the cards to get warped in any way. Because this is my Precious. If I'm anxious or overwhelmed, this deck calms me down. It is a sensory experience in every way. The smell is calming. It smells like herbs fresh from the garden. I don't know how they did that, but it just soothes me as soon as I smell it. Okay, quit smelling of your deck, Karen. The cardstock is soothing. It's has like a little bit of a pebble finish. It's really super thin, but my old small hands love that. This is the Eco Herbage cardstock. I don't know if it always smells like that. This is the only deck I have on that cardstock, or if it's this specific deck, or if it's the way this deck was made. Every picture in this deck was painted with plant materials and minerals, which I think is absolutely amazing. The pictures are beautiful, very grounded and calm. No matter what energy I come to with this deck, I leave it feeling calmer. I need to show this deck more on my channel. It's so amazing. Every card is just so beautiful. This is my deck for anxious thoughts or overwhelm. The next prompt is a deck to help you out of a creative slump. I have a pair. These two are a bonded pair for me. These are also my July Shop My Decks decks. They're both by Chris Ann, the Muse Tarot, and then I always pair the Sacred Creators Oracle with it. I'll show you the Muse Tarot. This deck just has such creative energy. It is the Muse Tarot, and it has been a muse for me when I've been in a creative slump. My creative outlet is writing, and this deck has inspired me to write many times. I'm having a wonderful time with it this month, using it as my deck for the month, along with the Oracle. I just, for one thing, adore Chris Ann. I've watched interviews with Chris Ann. I actually had a bit of a direct messaging conversation going back and forth. She had a head injury not long before my head injury, and we talked about that quite a bit. But even before that, I found her so inspiring. Her art just speaks to me. And if I'm in a creative slump, she pulls me right out of it. She's a digital design artist, I think is how she says it. Whatever it is, it's beautiful and amazing, and it sparks my creativity. Then I'll just show you really quick the Sacred Creators Oracle. It's just basically a deck of little statements to inspire you. fierce serenity, raw intention, the spark of hustle, choose who you are becoming, your soul shines. And the guidebooks for both of these are wonderful. They're not really lengthy, but they provide a lot of inspiration, and the way she writes is just so inspiring also. The next deck is Witchiest deck. Once again, I am lining up with Nicole on my answer. We both are doing a repeat for this tag with Witch Sisters Tarot. This is actually my only witchy deck. I don't have anything else with witch in the title. I did have the only deck I've ever rehomed. What was it? Witch's Wisdom Tarot, I believe, was the name of it. It was the one that is in reverse order. It goes from the world to the full. I don't remember how the suits worked, and I just couldn't get on with that deck. I did not connect at all, and that's the only deck that's happened to me with. And I know that it's a wonderful deck, and a lot of people love that deck. It just was not for me. But that's the only other deck I've ever had that had the word witch in the title. And I have other decks that feel kind of witchy, but not like this one. Not as much as this one does. So even whether it has witch in the title or not, this is still my witchiest deck. Oh, looks like these are the ones I'd already showed. Let's go down here and show something new. This is one of my very favorite Hermit cards, which the Hermit is my favorite card. I connect with her. I get emotional just seeing her face. Oh, the Queen of Pentacles is my other favorite card. The Hermit's my favorite card. The Queen of Pentacles is my favorite court card. So there they are. Oh, this one's powerful. Let me do a little censoring there. So amazing. For the Chariot. 10 of Trees, 10 of Pentacles. The faces. Yeah, this is such a witchy deck. Love him. Oh, look at her. Absolutely witchy. The next prompt is Most Inventive Guidebook. I could have chosen a couple of the ones I've already talked about, the Blood Moon Tarot, Witch Sisters Tarot, but this is the guidebook that totally blew me away. Earth Flesh, from the Bone Stone and Earth Flesh Tarot. I knew that this was going to be something really special when I read in the beginning. The deck is Bone Stone. The book is called Earth Flesh. This is the only tarot guidebook I have that has its own name that I know of. There may be others. I haven't even begun to really dig into it, but I adore this guidebook so much. Every card, major and minor arcana, every card has a title. This one's Lady of Leaves for the Empress. It has a little short synopsis, I guess. Then it talks about inner reading for the card. It has a reversed. And then it has a narrative that talks about the Lady of Leaves. It has astrology and numerology and journal prompts. And it has at least 3 for every card. And here's the Ace of Swords and Quill. It has, reading, reversed, the narrative. The same things, and 4 journal prompts for the minor arcana cards. It's just, I've never had a guidebook like this with so much. And it's 330 pages, I believe, 380 pages. It's just beautiful and so well written, and it deserves a name of its own, Earth Flesh. So I think that is my most inventive guidebook. The next prompt is favorite book for going beyond the tarot basics. I have two that I want to share. This first one is, yes, the Holistic Tarot, an encyclopedia. It doesn't say that, but it is. I am not even going to pretend to say I have read this book. It's not a book that I read. It's a book that I use as a reference, and I use it a lot as a reference. It goes into so many things. It's written by the amazing Venable Wynn, and it's just, as Barbara Moore says, a modern alchemical achievement. Joan Bunning, author of Learning the Tarot, says, likely to become the essential guidebook. And I believe it is the essential guidebook. I'm a holistic nurse. I take a holistic approach to my practice also. I love to integrate all of my interest into one: tarot, crystals, Reiki, meditation, numerology, astrology. I combine them all into my spiritual practice. So I appreciate the word holistic in the title here. In this book, it just talks about everything. It has all the card meetings, it has interpreting fundamentals of reading spreads, it has, we're still on the fundamentals of reading spreads. It's just immense. All the different things you can take into account, the seasons, the elements, the numerology. It goes into the landscape of a spread, the 5 components of circumstance. I don't even know what that means. It has so much in it. Tarot and love, how you would interpret each of those cards in a romantic reading, using tarot to build resilience, depth diagnostics. I mean, it's just the opening of the key. Tarot spreads, quick reference. Ruminations on the major arcana. Profile tables for interpreting court cards. I haven't marked this one. I thought I had, but I haven't yet. But I'm going to mark it where she talks about different topics. I'll show you in my other book. I've already marked it. Because these kinds of books, when I want to look something up, I need to know where to go. Significator cards, or signifier cards. I don't even really use signifier cards, but there's a section on it, and if I ever decide I want to use that. Someone who's really new to tarot like me, this encyclopedia of card meanings, as you can see, is what I've mostly used in this book. I've used that quite a bit. Especially, I recently did an RWS study with Lisa Pepez for her membership. We did a 3-month intensive RWS deck study, and I used this book as one of my resources. So that's what all that highlighting is from. But there's so much information here. So this is one I use for stepping out of just the tarot basics, for sure. Then my other one, as I mentioned, I like to incorporate many things together to make a holistic practice. And this is one of the books I use for integrating my astrology practice with my tarot practice. This is by Corinne Kenner, and it's wonderful. I have already marked up this one, and it talks about planets, signs, the court cards, the houses, the Kabbalah. There's talk in here. I haven't marked it yet. There's all of the decans. The decans are marked. This is the 3 decans of Aquarius. So you can do a decan study with this book. And it has all the different charts, the houses of the cards. It has all the different, the moon in Sagittarius, which is the 9 of Wands. That's that decan. It has the individual cards themselves, the elements of that individual card. She just has packed so much into this book, and each card, like this for Sagittarius, the card is Temperance, and she talks about all of that. It's just a wonderful book, a wonderful resource if you love tarot and astrology, which I do. Okay, and then the last question is, a tarot tuber who inspires you creatively. Nicole said that this does not necessarily need to be a tarot tuber, but these days, mostly what I watch on YouTube is tarot tube. So I'm going to name the 3 tarot tubers that inspire my creativity. And they don't just inspire my creativity when it comes to tarot. They do inspire me there, but they also inspire my creativity just in general. I watch their videos, and a lot of times I'll write or I'll come up with a unique idea from a tarot video, just all kinds of things. The first one I want to mention is Han from Simply Han Tarot. She is so lovely and so creative, and her energy is so gentle. I just love the way she thinks. I love the way she talks, and she absolutely inspires me to be creative. I've told her that. I've told all 3 of these creators that they inspire me, and they do. The second one I want to mention is Jack Greenwood Tarot. He is an artist. He's currently creating his own tarot deck, painting each card. But he also has this creative energy that just seeps into how he talks about everything, how he talks about modding his decks. He has a very just open, flowing, creative energy there that's inspired me to start trying gentle modding of my decks. And you saw my edging of my Witch Sisters Tarot. I'm going to blame Jack Greenwood for that. And his energy is just so creative. Every time I watch one of his videos, I feel inspired to do something creative. Then the third one is Shanna from Sincerely Shanna D. She comes up with so many creative ideas for her videos, and they always inspire me. They inspire me to do spreads. They inspire me to write and journal. They inspire me to come up with my own tarot tube ideas. I have also told her multiple times how inspiring she is to me. So those are my 3 creative inspirations on tarot tube. Simply Han Tarot, Jack Greenwood Tarot, and Sincerely Shanna D. Okay, that's it for this tag video. I want to thank Nicole for creating this, and I want to thank everyone who's done a tag video for this. I was so inspired by all of you. I hope you enjoyed the video. See you next time. Bye for now.